All right, welcome back to another show. First show of the new year. Want to thank you for coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. That's tacmd.com. That's tacmd.com. New year, new interest rates. Give Adam a call and have him consult you on your upcoming real estate transaction. I know for me, even someone who's familiar with real estate on some level, this market nowadays is baffling even to me. So you want to have a trusted professional. In fact, I had a very specific situation I went to Adam with, and he called someone, and within 5 minutes we had answers to the question. Had to do with my in-laws and what to do with them as they age, and some of the things we couldn't do. And within 15 minutes I had an answer to the question. He knew exactly where to go for answers. So if you have any kind of situation in the real estate market, you definitely want to reach out to Adam and have him advise you, even if you're not ready to buy right now or sell. So go to tacmd.com. That's tacmd.com. All right, we're gonna be back on the youth sports train today.
Choo choo.
And it's not what people think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be us ranting about people and places. And as I'm trying to get this video queued up, I'm screwing with it, which is why you keep hearing some random guy in the background speaking. The one thing I don't like about Instagram, you can't just pause the video.
Yeah.
You can turn the sound off and it'll play on a loop, but
Right.
you can't pause it.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm holding my finger in place so it won't move.
But Facebook, you can pause it.
Facebook, you can pause. TikTok, not TikTok. Twitter, you can pause.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to call it whatever.
I don't call it X. It's Twitter.
And I don't know what to be honest with you, I forgot which letter of the alphabet it was. Even though the app has the letter in it. Yeah, whatever. All right, so I'm going to play you audio from. It's a video from. I'll get this guy's name in a minute, but essentially, for most people, they think youth sports is this wholesome, volunteer-driven organizations, and some of this information, it really surprised me when I heard it. And Mike sent it to me, and so I listened to it. Of course, woke my wife up because she heard it because I didn't turn the volume down on my phone in bed. So I got a little bit of trouble for that. But I'm going to play this for you. It's about 2 minutes long, so bear with us. And just listen to what he's got to say. And then we're going to talk about what he's got to say. And when you listen to the information, it explains a lot about youth sports and the culture today. So here we go. I'm going to play it. Hopefully people can hear it. Of course, if you don't unmute it, people can't hear it.
Is dead. No more Sandlot. Why? Private equity killed it. Shocker. I'm shocked.
Did you say crapface?
Youth sports is no longer a childhood pastime. It is now big business. $40 billion, which is larger than the MLB and NFL combined. Congress just held a hearing called Benched, cute, because the average family now spends over $1,000 on their kid's primary sport. That's a 50% increase since 2019. And these costs are obviously forcing kids to quit. What happened to the good old days? I remember when I quit because I was bad at sports, or more realistically, I was bullied. Anyways, let's look at the main players and what they do. First up, it is the vertical monopoly within cheerleading. In 2024, KKR bought Varsity Brands from Bain Capital for $4.75 billion. Varsity runs a vertical monopoly within cheerleading. They own the camps, the tournaments, and even the apparel company that creates all of the uniforms. Let's move on. It's weird for me to talk about cheerleading. Up next, what about hotels and travel teams for Little Stevens baseball tournaments? Let's look at hotel kickbacks and the state-of-play ransom that these tournaments employ. Unrivaled Sports is a youth athletics holdco founded by billionaires Josh Harris, Apollo's co-founder, and David Blitzer, a longtime exec at Blackstone. That's the one that owns all your homes. They also own famed venues like Cooperstown All-Star Village, which hosts Little League tournaments all summer. Now, often, these tournaments push families into stay-to-play arrangements where they're forced to book at hotels 30 to 50% higher than normal rates. And if you try to book at a cheaper hotel down the street, or God forbid, an Airbnb, you're forced to pay a hotel breakage fee, sometimes up to $1,000. And finally, what about memories? That's the whole point, right? Great memories of your kids playing sports. Surely they can't get involved there. Not so fast. Black Bear Sports Group, a subsidiary of Blackstreet Capital, is the largest rink owner in the country. And they've been caught banning parents from recording their own kids, at least I hope it's their own kids, at their facilities. Why? So they can charge you $50 a month for their own streaming service, so you can watch their corporate slop stream and see your 8-year-old play. We really don't need another streaming service. Please just let the Saudis buy that too. We don't care at this point. And these are just a few stories of how private equity has infiltrated youth sports. Share your own stories below. We would love to hear about the bullshit money grabs you have to put up with now. Youth sport.
All right, so that's the link for that is Sad Money Podcast, and Steven Sihelnik. I'm sure I butchered that, but if I can remember, I will link it below. But it's Sad Money Podcast on Instagram, and Steven Sihelnik, I think, is the guy who actually the voice you heard there. So. There's a lot to unpack in that right there. So it's not only that these companies are buying the teams that you're paying to play on. They're also running the tournaments that the team is paying to play in. Mm-hmm. They own they're making you stay in the hotels to stay and play in these tournaments.
Yep.
And then they own the uniform companies that you have to use to play on the team.
Sure. Like the one, so when I first saw that video, now I don't have daughters, so thankfully cheer isn't a thing in my house. And thankfully it's not a thing in your house either.
No, it's not. No.
But it's weird. I call it, that's like one of the girl sports. Like dance, cheer, gymnastics are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how it's so expensive, but it is. Gymnastics I kind of get.
Well, and so just to clarify, because it's happening, he mentioned cheer. Don't think it's not happening in those other three.
Oh no,
the other two.
Yeah,
and I'm going under the assumption it's probably with all sports.
Sure.
At this point.
So like KKR, that company that he talked about, that bought out the other one.
Yep.
And now everything, like you have to go to the KKR camp, and you have to go to the, the KKR tournament, or the cheer competition, or whatever it is. And I'm sure they have a state-of-play arrangement and all these other things. And it's just they're trying to squeeze money out at every possible way they can. And, like the organization that we're part of runs a tournament every May. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. People come out for it.
Not owned by anybody, by the way.
Not owned by anyone. Nobody's making money off this except the local nonprofit baseball league.
Correct.
And all that money gets spent right back to support. Usually most of that money goes to help the 12U team go to Cooperstown. So I guess, what do you say, Blackstreet Capital or BlackRock or Stone or whoever
Blackstone, yeah.
owns Cooperstown. So I guess they are getting it indirectly.
Well, and I'm gonna give you some quick information. KKR is actually a publicly traded company. It has institutional investors such as Vanguard, BlackRock,
Shocker.
State Street. So they hold, it basically says those three hold substantial portions through index and actively managed funds. So these goons are controlling your kids' travel sports.
Yeah.
Or elite level sports.
Well, but if you look at it, so Black Bear Sports, there's an NAHL, which is a minor junior. So in hockey, you've got the different tiers of junior hockey before you go to either NCAA Division I or major juniors in Canada. So NAHL is a lower tier junior league. So Black Bear Sports owns the Maryland Black Bears. They also own the rink. So it's not only just a travel program, they also have rec programs there. So now it's getting into the rec programs as well. So it's not only travel. And I'm wondering when, at some point, our volunteer-based organization for baseball and softball, at one point does it become easier for the people who are running it to just be like, yeah, you know what, just let them take it over. Let's just get bought out by them, and then we don't have to deal with any of the stuff that the work we put in. We just write a check, which we don't get to play for free anyway. We still have to write the same check everyone else does.
I know. Thanks for volunteering. Now pay full price.
Right.
So, just an idea into which brands in youth sports that KKR owns. Now, this is just one of them. So, KKR is just one business. There's other businesses that own other portions of stuff, and he had mentioned a few of them. But KKR owns BSN Sports.
Oh.
Now, our club does business with BSN Sports. We have a rep for... I bought team socks from them.
Yeah.
But we also have purchased balls. In fact, all of our equipment, I think, is done through our BSN rep.
Yeah.
And then they also own Varsity Spirit, which provides cheerleading apparel, training camps, and competitive events for youth and school athletes. BSN distributes team uniforms, athletic apparel, equipment, and gear for school and club teams. They own something called Play On. They invested in Play On, which a high school sports media and technology platform. So basically what high schools use for... it operates the NFHS network, streaming live and on-demand high school sports. Oh, and they also, by the way, so the KKR-backed Play On group acquired Max Preps.
Okay.
Everyone's heard of Max Preps, which was a major high school sports coverage and data brand integrating coverage with ticketing and live stream services. They also own League Apps, although it's not fully owned by KKR directly. It has made a significant equity investment in League Apps, a leading youth sports management platform. So now it's in your youth sports, like not just your youth travel, but your youth. So basically, what our club uses to manage, payments and rosters and all sort of stuff, it's very similar to that. And then it owns something called Arbiter, which is an athletic and school operations management software used by K through 12 athletic departments.
Yeah, I know Arbiter. So for umpiring, Arbiter's where you schedule through, and also you can be paid through it as well. So for high school games, they might not pay you cash like you would for your travel game or your rec game or whatever it is, but so they could pay you through Arbiter as well. So that's awesome.
And I'm literally just doing a quick ChatGPT search because at the bottom, ChatGPT will kind of have a conversation. It goes, if you want, I can also list youth sports players that private equity in general owns beyond KKR. So yes, please list all private equity companies with a stake in youth sports and the companies they own. And so if you don't know what private equity is, so private equity is essentially, and to be honest with you, I was surprised that KKR was a publicly traded company because generally private equity is not publicly traded. It's private. And essentially what they do is they usually buy a brand, strip its assets, run up its debt, and then basically claim bankruptcy. And it's like a mob thing where like you want mob protection for your restaurant. Very similar, like if you ever watch Goodfellas, with the Copacabana, it wasn't the Copacabana, it was like that bamboo one with the guy. Essentially, they ran up the tab on his credit, didn't pay the bills, and when the creditors came calling, they burned it down for the insurance money.
Yeah.
Essentially, this is what private equity does. Only if they actually, first thing they do is they look to make the company profitable to sell off to somebody else. But if they can't do that, then they run up all the bills.
Yeah.
And they fire everybody. So
I mean, and something like Arby's was taken over by private equity, and they ended up doing okay. I think Dunkin' Donuts was too, and kind of helped that brand out. So it's not all evil. Oh boy, I just saw that look.
Oh no! All right, so other private equity companies. So KKR is one of them, but then there's one called Excel KKR, which is also KKR, but they listed as two separate companies. The Churning Group, TCG, owns Unrivaled Sports, a consolidated operator of youth sports properties and experience, such as the Ripken Baseball Experience. Fucking Cal Ripken.
Yeah.
Cooperstown All-Star Village. They own flag football leagues and sports complexes. They raised $120 million, led by Dick's Sporting Goods, with minority private equity backers like Dynasty Equity, Lion Tree, and Miller Sports and Entertainment. So Dick's is in on it too. Juggernaut Capital owns Three Step Sports, operates and consolidates clubs, teams, tournaments, training programs, multi-sport facilities for lacrosse, baseball, and soccer, building a national youth sports club network. The Rain Group, RCX Sports, owner of youth football, NFL Flag is one, basketball, NBA Junior, and hockey leagues, engaging large youth participation. Their focus, league and branded youth sports experiences linked to professional leagues. So you think the pro leagues are running this, but they're not. It's this fucking private equity company. WAD Capital Partners, they own TeamSnap, which is it's very similar to Game Changers.
Yeah,
for
who's owned by Game Changers Digs.
Well, and Game Changer got bought by somebody else, by the way. So they merged with another one. Mm-hmm. I know this because Bays, the other youth organization, their rep told them that they were switching over to this. Basically, they merged it. And there was two competing apps, and they're going to one.
Okay.
Forgot how that works. Blackstreet Capital, and Black Bear Sports Group, acquiring and operating youth hockey facilities, like you said. Black Bear, a private equity linked entity, has been reported as consolidating facilities across multiple states. So basically, they're consolidating all the hockey rinks in the area. Rourke Capital, U.S. Sports Camps, acquired this large youth sports camp operator, which is Nike Sports Camps and related programs. Let's see, other ones, Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, gee, didn't put it together. Dick's Sporting Goods is DSG Ventures.
Oh, yeah.
Dick's Sporting Goods Ventures.
Yeah, because like
Son of a bitch.
the cheap El Cheapo cleats and everything you get at Dick's is all DSG.
I didn't put that together when I was reading it. Miller Sports Entertainment, Arctos Partners. These are other minor investors. Jeez, man, this is wild. Why is here? Oh, ChatGPT just keeps going.
They're like, but wait, there's more.
Oh yeah. Why private equity is flocking there? Private equity is pouring capital into youth sports because the sector is highly fragmented, with many local operators ripe for consolidation. Families spend tens of billions annually on youth athletics, gear, tournaments, and technology. Digital platforms and scalable business models have strong recurring revenue potential. You're dollar signs to these people.
Just like you are when you're a patient. You're just a revenue stream. That's it.
God. That, of course, keeps going. If you want, I can organize this into a visual ownership map or break it down by specific sport. Would you like that? Nah, I'm good for now. Thanks, ChatGPT. Well, ChatGPT might not be right. You're right. It might not be right.
It's right enough.
But that was pretty fucking specific for it to be very wrong.
Right.
Even if it got 75% of that information right, it's still bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's well, you think about it, a $40 billion a year industry. And I just took some notes during the clip we played, and I wrote state of play down before they talked about it, and the Dallas Stars got into a big because they were hosting tournaments down in Dallas for hockey, but then it was state of play. So the Stars are saying you can, here's this tournament you get to play in, but you have to stay in our hotels. Meanwhile, the Stars are getting the kickbacks from the hotels.
Right.
Like, they need the money. I don't know, maybe they do. But the thing is, this is nothing new. When I was a kid, we played in a street hockey tournament at Towson. So we actually won the tournament, and if you won the tournament, you got invited to go play in the national tournament down in Orlando. So, that's pretty cool. The thing we won was it was an Easton aluminum. So back in the day, the Easton aluminum stick was the big deal.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
When they started switching from the straight wood to the composites and the aluminums.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Now aluminum no one uses it. It's all the $400 carbon sticks, which in the NHL they break left and right. So we go and we're like, oh cool, let's go down there. We can do Disney, then we do this. But there's a but. You had to stay in a Disney resort, which inflated the cost and there was no discount. It wasn't like, oh, you're with the tournament, so you're going to get it for X amount per night. Oh no, you're full till boogie on a Disney resort property. So my family was out, and I think there was one family that said they would do it, and when the whole team was like, no, we're not doing that, it's bullshit. So we didn't. So, and that was back in 1995. So you're looking at 30 years ago that they did this.
That's not just youth sports, though. They do that with college teams. So I mentioned before, so when I played college lacrosse, it was in the Northeast, and it's freezing in February, and your first game is, well, back then it was first week of March you were playing. And we'd be lucky if we didn't have snow still. So when we went for spring break, our spring break was like February-ish, March, around then, we went to Disney World. But we had to stay in the All-Star Resort, which is the cheapest resort they got. Mm-hmm. And you got to play at the Wide World of Sports. And you had the food and everything. Basically, they had you for everything.
Yeah.
'Cause you didn't even leave property. So it's not just youth. They got them going all the way up. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, it's a well-run experience. But it's a shit ton of money.
Oh, sure.
And this was before probably the private equity even got in. But that being said, I find it, the sales pitch to a lot of parents about these travel programs is, we'll get your kids seen by coaches.
Yeah.
We'll get them exposure. You know, and the funny part, so we have a mutual friend who is starting that kind of thing for local kids. Local kids isn't the right thing. It's not a corporation running it. Mm-hmm. It's literally 3-4 dads who are doing it under the name of a club. That's a nonprofit club, but it is still a nonprofit. They just needed somewhere to organize it.
Right.
Because it's multiple clubs sending kids here. But it's still local. It's still local kids. They're paying a reasonable fee. Mm-hmm. At least to cover the costs from the outrageous people. Because they still have to play in these tournaments, so it's still, but they're not getting charged a profit on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No individual's making money.
Correct. Yeah. So, but whereas like some of these teams, like where they're paying the coaches and they're paying for indoor facilities and all this other stuff, everyone's getting paid, and it's all selling the parent that it's better coaching, year-round support, facilities, and then the big one, it's exposure.
Right.
Okay, well, Susie at 10 years old, there's no exposure there. Yeah, but she's going to get better coaching. It's better coaching, and it might be. But
you want that D1 ride, right?
Well, but my other thing is, and I guess we're in the thick of it now. Where, like, so two of your kids play travel baseball at this point, right?
Well,
1.5.
Yeah, the little one will be, I imagine.
Okay. But it's through our club.
Right.
So it's not through like one of the private for-profit private organizations.
Right. It's not
like
one of those,
Marucci.
Right. Or
Rawlings.
Or
right.
Yeah.
And it's a dad coaching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to play better competition.
Yeah.
Essentially is what that
Yeah,
is.
and the dad who's coaching it is vetted and has it's like a legit baseball guy. So it's not.
But he's not getting paid.
No, he's paying the same amount that
Right.
everybody else is.
And so the sales pitch, though, to kids playing on that team isn't, oh, the exposure. It's like, okay, you're going to play some better competition. You're going to play with kids who are a little bit better. I would love to know, at the end of your kid's experience versus the end of a kid's experience who went to play at Rawlings, mm-hmm. when they both get to high school and now nobody gives a shit, how much better, or is that kid better, who paid multiple thousands of dollars a year?
Yep.
Was the promise delivered on?
Yeah.
Because I know it's not just baseball. They do it with lacrosse.
They do it with hockey. They do it every single sport. And here's the thing. So when I was playing travel hockey growing up, there was one AA team in the region, and that was Washington Little Caps. Every now and then, Tri-City Eagles would have a AA team, but Little Caps was the consistent. They had in every age group, and they were legit, right? So then everyone else was an A team or a B team. Now, every club hockey team has a AAA team. And I think they're just slapping AAA on the old A team and say, oh, this is our AAA club. Really? Because there were some really good hockey players that were playing little caps back in the 90s in AA. And like those kids were coming from all over, I want to say the DMV. Like, because if you're not, DMV is pretty much DC and then the counties surrounding. Like, we're not in the DMV here.
Right.
It was like there were kids from all over the state of Maryland, all over Virginia. Some were coming in from Pennsylvania to play for Little Caps. So it was a legit club. But it was only AA. Now, every single hockey club, whether it's Navy, Howard, Black Bears, Montgomery, no matter which one it is, has a AAA team. AAA Elite. Okay. Well, if you're just slapping labels on it, and it's still relatively the same level. Now, the hockey has gotten better because more kids are playing than when I played. It hasn't gotten that much better. And could you take that AAA team up to Minnesota and play with the AAA team up there? No, you couldn't. They're going to they might as well just become the Zamboni and get the ice cleaned. So,
Yeah. And I know with lacrosse it's a little different because lacrosse is still, I would say it's a young sport.
yeah.
Now,
And-
don't get me wrong, it's old as fuck, but as far as popularity goes,
Right, and lacrosse also here. Now, here's the other thing: a AAA lacrosse club here is probably a legit AAA lacrosse club. So,
well, and my thing is though, they called it AAA because they had to get the kids they had to get the parents to keep paying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if your kid's been playing A, and well, I need something better. Well, you're in luck. We just so happen to have a AA team.
and it costs twice as much money.
Right, it costs twice, and
But
you go
you-
to twice as much exposure,
Right.
And you'll get twice. It costs twice. Everything's more, and then the kid's been there for a little bit, or maybe the kid's got a little brother coming up, and the parents like, well, we want something better for the little guy. Well, guess what? We now have a AAA team.
Right.
It's better than AA. It's better than A. It's marketing. It's all that shit
Sure.
is, but like
So it's slapping GT on a shitty car.
right, and well, and the funny part, so like the reason why I bring up lacrosse is because it's a younger sport, so it's a little bit difficult to compare. Just because back when I was coming up, not all of the athletes were necessarily playing it. Probably why I was able to go as far as I did, right? Because the real athletes, not to say the real, but the
good ones.
all the super athletes weren't playing it. Like we only had a couple of super athletes, which
Right.
made some room for
Yeah.
the not so athletic like myself.
Right.
Right. Now though, in certain pockets, you have like super athletic kids playing it.
Sure.
And they're running like fucking horses, and they're 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
Like people always, someone asked me, they said, "What's the difference between D1 and D3?" I said, "It's fucking size."
Yeah.
Like you put two kids side by side. One is 6'4", one's 5'9". They're both going to run the same 40 time. The 6'4" kids in D1.
Mm-hmm.
The little kids playing, the 5'9" kids playing D1, D3 or D2. That's the biggest difference in the divisions for the most part. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Because you got a kid that wants to go to Salisbury because he's from Maryland, rather than going to play at like Virginia or Duke or whatever, that kid's going to house D3 because he's 6'4" and runs like a deer.
Yeah.
Right? Those things do happen. But because you now have more kids playing, they're doing the same thing that they were doing in other sports now, though. Oh, well, it's harder to get noticed these days because so many kids are playing.
Yeah.
We got a AA team for you. And he'll dominate AA, and we'll make sure he gets all the exposure. Mm-hmm. I tell people this all the time. The coaching fraternity is small. If you're a good player and you play your 10, 15 game schedule, however many games you're playing, 20 games for hockey or whatever, there's a coach there that's going to see you and be like, oh shit. And he's going to call up his buddy who's now coaching in college. Hey, you need to come grab this kid. Mm-hmm. Or it'll get out there. Coaches will find talent, especially now. Because now the competition for talent is so tough. And the top tier programs are going to get whoever they want. But then you've got the second tier right underneath it. And with football, I would say it's comparable to like let's say your top team in the Big Ten is Michigan. Indiana is technically the tier below there, or it was.
Yeah.
Well, now, because the head coach there was like, hey, look, do you want to play against the best? Well, we're starting something here. And he had to go find talent.
Yeah.
People weren't, there was no football players like, you know what? I got to go to IU. I got to go to Indiana. 2 years ago, no kid was saying that
Right.
shit. So Kirk Cignetti had to go find the talent somewhere.
At least schools like Florida State or Miami had weather to attract people.
Correct.
To, like,
Not Indiana, not Northern Indiana.
Indiana in February kind of sucks.
No,
So-
Indiana, Purdue. Both of them, not. My brother went to Purdue. You know what? In the wintertime, snow was fucking over your head. That shit sucks. So coaches will find you. Now, does it help to go to some of these places, to put yourself in front of some of these coaches? Like, yeah, but is it worth $5,000 to $10,000 more per year?
Right, and a lot of these, and then when you get into like the showcases, a lot of those are just money grabs.
Yeah.
You know, say college and pro scouts. There's that. If they don't already know who you are, they're not going to go and all of a sudden find you at the showcase.
Well, and let's put this in another perspective. Let's say you play on a year-round team. Could it cost $10,000? I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean,
7 to 10.
sure, especially with some of the sports like I know hockey can because of the ice time's expensive.
All right, so I'll say $7,000 over 8 years. That's 56,000
Yeah,
approximately. Okay. A lot of these sports, unless it's basketball and football, and even football to a certain extent, because there's 120 kids on a roster.
yeah,
They only got 80-something scholarships. Okay? But let's look at lacrosse is the one I know. They have, I believe, 16 scholarships. The roster has 60 kids.
yeah,
Do the math. And what most coaches do is they'll divide it up. So they'll take their 18 and they'll make it 36. Half scholarships.
yep,
Or they'll even dilute it more. They'll create some of it that are quarters. All right, so now I'm going to University of Maryland, costs $40,000 a year. I'm going to get $10,000 a year. So over 4 years, my total benefit is $40,000. Well, I paid $56,000. So I'm still in the hole, 16.
right, and that's just principal. You're not talking about interest or anything.
And that's if your kid is the top 1% of 1% of high school athletes.
Yeah,
1% of high school, I'm pretty sure it's one. I think the number has grown a little bit more. I think it's closer to 6. Okay, so your kid has to be in the top 6% of all athletes in that sport to go play in college.
yeah, at any level.
Well, it's the top 6 of high school athletes, and then it's the top, I think, 1.5% will go on to play in the pros, at least for NBA, NFL, and maybe MLB.
Yeah,
Hockey's a little bit different because of how that's situated. Kids come out of like the minor, the junior leagues, and all this other shit.
and then the international stuff with
Yeah,
hockey.
that's a whole nother ball of wax there. But for everybody else, all the other sports, there's no fucking pro league. Mm-hmm. For the most part, does the lacrosse have one? Sure, they get paid $10,000.
Yeah.
Softball, yeah, there's a pro league now. They probably get paid $5,000.
Even women's hockey, there's the PWHL,
Mm-hmm.
which those girls aren't getting paid a lot of money. They're not making NHL money.
Women's soccer, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the MLS. Don't get me wrong, MLS is paying now, but that took 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
WNBA, 25 years, just still ain't making a profit.
No.
They're still working 2 jobs.
Unless you're
Brittany Griner or whatever. What's the girl's name?
Well, there's
Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, Caitlin Clark. But she's making her money from endorsements.
Yeah.
Just like there's the girl that got drafted after her the next year, the other white girl.
Paige Buchers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the only one that probably knows her name.
Yeah. Because I just did it.
Right. No, I mean, and this goes on a whole rant about women's college basketball. The worst thing that could have ever happened to women's college basketball was that UConn was leading the charge. Because no one gives a fuck about UConn.
Right.
It would have been 10. Like, that's why it's more important for, like, South Carolina and Dawn Staley down at the University of South Carolina to be better than UConn. The old time, Pat Summitt, when she was the head coach of Tennessee, it was very important for her to be better. But then La Tech came around. No one gives a shit about Louisiana Tech. I'm sorry, the big schools have the most reach.
Right.
Especially in the big conferences. No one gives two shits about UConn.
Right.
Except for a specific set of people who care about women's basketball. Like, I don't give a shit about college basketball, but I pretty much kind of know who's good and who's not.
Yeah.
Even though I don't watch a game. Or I'll see the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, if I'm going to watch a basketball game, it's going to be a college game.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to watch a bunch of 6'9", 7 foot tall dudes miss 3 points.
Well, actually, you want to know who hates the NBA more than anyone else right now?
Who's that?
Ex-NBA players.
Oh, yeah?
The ones from the 80s and 90s. They think the sport sucks.
Oh, well,
And they
see,
think it needs to be fixed.
now we were fortunate enough to kind of, like, our coming of age sports-wise for people our age was the early 90s.
Dude,
With the...
I used to love watching the NBA.
Yeah.
I used to love it.
yeah.
They had all the personalities and the characters, and they weren't dicks. Mm-hmm. Now, they were assholes on the court to each other. But off the court, they were funny. They had personality.
Yeah.
It wasn't scripted. And on the court, they actually didn't. It looked like they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
Now they're dapping each other up and doing all this fuck. Hey, man. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
Who was it? Was it Bill Lambier with the Pistons?
Yeah, the bad boys.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, there's guys that played against them that still fucking hate them.
Oh, yeah. And Larry Bird was like the biggest bastard shit talker in the world.
Right. Cornbread Larry.
Yeah.
Talking all that shit. Mm-hmm. Like, the funny part is, like, now you're starting to hear a lot of the stories. Like, when they did The Last Dance for the Bulls, and they heard you heard that Michael Jordan was kind of an asshole to teammates and stuff. But on the court, you didn't see any of that shit. Right? Now, you see them be assholes on the court.
Yeah.
Or in the press conference toward fans. Like, you motherfuckers get paid because the fans like your sport.
Yeah.
You're not going to take shots at them. Well, they said some mean things to me. I get it, and they're assholes. But unfortunately, you need to shut up and take it.
Yeah.
Because your brand off the court depends on you not being a dick to the fans. In fact, that's just going to make them be more of a dick to you.
Right. That's just going to be getting more dickitude.
Like, the funny thing is, like, everyone's like, oh, LeBron's probably the best player ever. One, no. Two, he's never going to be seen that way because the fans fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole. He walks around with an arrogance. Like, don't get me wrong, was Michael Jordan arrogant? I'm sure he was. But you also saw him do the cool Nike commercials where
But you saw him like defying gravity.
or you saw like Larry Bird, and I think it was Magic Johnson did the McDonald's commercial where they were doing, or was it him or Michael Jordan? I forgot, but they were doing like the fun commercials and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to hear, like, LeBron tells me how good he is every 3 minutes. You know, I really know what I'm talking about because I'm really well read. I remember that comment, you dumbass. No, you're not. That's what makes you unlikable, that you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the NBA also went from a team-centered league to a star-centered league.
Yeah.
So and now you'll see, like, there are Steph Curry fans. They don't care what team he plays for. There are LeBron fans. There are Kevin Durant fans. There are all these different fans of these players. They don't care who they're playing for.
I'll give you a great example. I was not a Chicago Bulls fan, but I know that it was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Bill Cartwright was on that team.
Yep.
The Australian dude, Luke Longley, Steve Kerr, John Paxson was on. Like, I can name almost the entire fucking roster. For the Knicks, it was Patrick Ewing. It was John Starks. It was Anthony Mason. Like, I just named 3 dudes. I'm not a fan of the Knicks either.
Right.
Like, I could name like 6 players on each team back then. And I wasn't really even an NBA fan. Everyone remembers Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning on the Charlotte Hornets. They were wearing those starter jackets.
Yep.
But people liked them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, Sean Kemp dunking on people. Gary Payton, the glove. I remember all these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Other than LeBron, I don't know who plays on the Lakers.
Right.
I couldn't tell you one dude.
There's that white guy now. What's his name? Came from...
The fucking Euro kid.
Yeah.
Luka.
Luka
Doncic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked like chubby as fuck.
Yeah. 7 foot tall white guy missing 3-pointers.
Hey, you want to know what, though? He was probably the best thing that could have happened to the NBA. Why? because he was chunky and he was good at basketball. He looked like an average human being.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need. They came up with the term "Great White Hope" for a reason. I mean, hey, what? But now the Great White Hope is European.
Yeah.
With a fucking accent. Call me xenophobic whenever you want. But I mean, but then you got the other kids, the American white kids, the fucking beanpole, like the kid Chet. Got kids named fucking Chet.
Yeah. Well, then there's that kid that plays for Golden State. That's a local guy from Davidsonville. He was a lacrosse player. He's playing in the NBA.
I don't even know who it is.
Yeah, I
but
forget.
I'm probably sure. What is he? He's probably like 6 foot.
He's
120.
tall. I think he's a. I'll look it up. So.
But the funny when we were talking about those private equity companies, I thought I was actually really surprised to see that the private equity companies had a stake in the league branded leagues, like the NBA Junior League, the NFL flag football. I literally thought it was just I thought the NFL was doing that,
Right.
not private equity. Why does the NFL need private equity? It's $1 trillion. Isn't it like $1 trillion something business?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
technically the NFL is a nonprofit.
Yeah, right. Can I use that
Yeah.
with the IRS too? I'm technically a nonprofit.
I'm a nonprofit. But
that's wild to me, though.
Pat Spencer is he's a
Awesome.
he's a what player guard
Of course he is.
6'2", 205.
He barely made the height requirement.
Yeah.
He had to be that tall to ride the ride. Good for you, Pat.
Yeah. Grew up in come on, NBA.com. You think you'd be better than this?
No, it can't. NBA.com, slowest loading website there is.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway,
By the way, fix the website. You want people to go to the website? Fix the fucking website.
Right.
It should load quicker than this.
right, exactly. I want to see his bio. I said bio, and profile, there's nothing there.
It'll tell you in 2 years when it loads.
Or it'll say, what's your email? Nope, not getting it.
By the way, you know the funny part is like I went to the MLB website. I'm sorry, if you are a major league sport, a top tier sport, your website needs to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Stop nickel and diming your website. Like when I went to go look, we went to Pittsburgh to go just for vacation, and we went to a Pittsburgh Pirates game. Mm-hmm. Getting the tickets was a pain in the ass. Like we went to one website that sent us to another website that sent us to another website. Had some weird pop-ups so I could see where the seating chart. Gave no information about the seat, whether it was good or not. Like, come on. Yeah. You are a multi-billion-dollar. You can't make a better website than what you got going on right now? Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to click 5 times. Most times, if you make someone click more than once, they're not going to buy your shit. So just be happy you have that much of an in-demand product that I had to click 4 times, 5 times just to buy this shit, and I still did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Pat Spencer went to Boys Latin.
Shocker.
Where he played lacrosse and basketball, and then he played lacrosse at Loyola for 4 years.
4 years?
He didn't play basketball.
He didn't play basketball? He just took 4 years off?
Yeah.
And then made it to the NBA?
And then he ends up playing for... See, this is the kind of guy I can get behind. Then he ends up playing for his...
Played for the Albany
pro
Patroon.
teams. He played for the Hamburg Towers, and then the Capital City Go-Go, Santa Cruz Warriors, and then in 2024 he cracked the Golden State Warriors roster. See, but here's the thing. I don't know what his parents did, but there are parents that are probably chucking all kinds of money at lacrosse.
Well, Boys Latin's not cheap.
No.
Come on.
And he probably went, and they may have helped him out. But then Davidsonville, there's some money there, so who knows?
But again, though, even if he got a ride to Loyola,
yeah,
he got maybe, I'll say max he got was a half scholarship. Mm-hmm. Most likely, he probably got a quarter.
Yeah. And they probably threw some academic money in there and then found some money somewhere else.
True.
So.
I mean, D3 does that shit too. But again, that's academic money.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact. I mean, I guess because he played lacrosse, they probably helped him figure that shit out.
I played D3 football, and I didn't pay full tuition. Like, I got a community service scholarship.
Right.
I didn't do any community service. like, oh, yeah, you seem like a nice guy.
Right.
Here's a community service scholarship for all the
You said hi to the old ladies once.
Yeah, I coach little kids playing ice hockey.
That's right.
Little rich kids. I taught them how to play hockey. But, like, that dude, so here's, and we did an episode once on Travel Ball Dad. So here's Travel Ball Dad throwing all kinds of money at these lacrosse, and he ends up playing in the NBA.
Right.
Which, hey, cool, like if he got one of them.
Right.
And it kind of gets back to the thing is, if the kid's an athlete, right, they're going to find their thing and they're going to be good at it. And I follow these two guys. There's one Swag and Shades, another one is Coach Rack.
I've seen both of them. So Coach Rack's actually with the Bananas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Swag and Shades was talking about elite level players. And he's like, generally the elite 12U baseball kid is not the kid that goes anywhere. And I keep thinking the elite 12U baseball kid is the one whose parents are just chucking money after money. And the thing is, like, so puberty hits and their bodies change. The big, strong kid becomes the slow, fat kid. Not always, but sometimes. Then you've got the fact that they just get burnt out. And I've seen kids on baseball fields, I'm like, one of two things is going to happen to that kid. The kid's going to end up hating baseball or hating his dad or both because the dad's so intense. Just sit back and let your kid have fun and play ball.
Let's not leave mothers out of this because some of these mothers are fucking nuts too. And I say that with all due respect.
Well, when I watch, so following all the umpire stuff I do, they always have the fans misbehaving. And a lot of times, you'll have the dad going, "That's effing terrible," and then the mom's in the background, "Throw her ass out, throw her ass," and it's always some hen back there clucking, edging on cheeseburger dad, egging him on, and now next thing you know, now they're both getting tossed.
Yeah.
Or their umpires are just calling the game. They're like, you know what, we're done. We're not doing this. So, you see it and you try not to be that guy, but then also as a parent I get, man, if I had just paid for that one more pitching lesson, if I had just done this, if I had just done that. So my, our philosophy with the kids has always been, we'll put as much effort into your stuff as you are willing to put into the effort. Yeah. And the second I have to fight you to go do something, I'm done. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and we've taken a similar approach. So both of my girls, they're going to a facility. I mean, you've heard of API.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So every Sunday they're going there for 2 hours. One's working on pitching and hitting. The other one's working on fielding and hitting.
Yeah.
I always say if my one daughter didn't pitch anymore, I would love it. Because I see the mental toll it takes on her. Because she gets nervous.
Yeah.
But she likes doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. And as long as she wants to keep doing it, I'll give her what the instructions we're getting, because we got another pitching clinic that our 18U coach runs. She does it as a fundraiser for her 18U team within the club, but she's also developing the next wave of pitchers, right?
Yeah.
Or at least she's trying to. And we've been taking her up on it. And I will say this. So she's got 4 girls that are in 10U. And I know 10U is 10U. I'm not saying they're going to be great, whatever. But I will say this. When they played against other 10U kids, now were they hitting the strike zone? Yeah. It was literally hit or miss. A lot of misses. But they were by far the fastest pitchers throughout the entire league. Mm-hmm. And by far. Now, were they throwing strikes? Not necessarily. My daughter hit a girl in the back. It sounded like it hurt a lot. Mm-hmm. I felt bad for the girl.
Yeah.
Ooh. It was one of those, it happens, you hear it, and ooh. you make an audible noise.
Yeah.
And I coached that team. And I was like, even I made the noise. I was like, and then I probably shouldn't have made that noise. But I couldn't control it.
Yeah.
If it's funny, as a coach, I still have zero filter on my immediate reaction. Now I'm not the guy that I'm not that guy.
Right.
But I'll have a ooh or I just have it's an audible output of my mouth. That's generally it's not against a ref, a kid, whatever. If the kid gets a big hit, even if it's a kid from the other team, I go ooh.
Yeah.
And then I had one coach on their team goes, "Did you ooh?" I said, Yeah, it was a good hit.
Yeah.
Like,
She went yard on that thing.
right? Like, I was just, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't coach because I'm just a spectator as a coach. Like I'm sitting on the first base coach. I'm the first base coach, and I'm like this one girl made a great play at first. Again, ooh,
Yeah.
like, and I said that's a great play, like to the kid, because I don't know any different, right? I don't know that I'm not supposed to do that. But yeah, no. But so she's been getting those lessons and whatnot. And I mean, is she gonna go on and pitch in high school? I really don't give a shit.
Right.
As long as she's having fun now with it, and she wants to keep doing it, we'll keep paying for it. The other thing is though, we're not paying like the highest priced people either.
Right. You're not.
Like like this was $100 for 5 sessions.
Yeah.
That's $20 a session. That's cheap as shit. For the kids at the API thing, I think it was like maybe 150.
That's not terrible.
Like I'm not paying the thousands.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
right?
it's funny. So, like, I know where you're at with pitching, but for different reasons. For me, I get nervous. So my oldest, like, it's probably his best position is pitching. And I get nervous because, like, he's on the spot. Like, the pitcher stands on a hill, for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. And I watch him pitch, but he doesn't get nervous. And you know him. He can be kind of goofy. But he gets on that mound, and he goes to work. And it's like a completely different kid, and it's cool to watch. And he doesn't care if they hit the ball off him. He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, he doesn't get mad. He gets up. He gets frustrated when his teammates throw the ball around. You know, but I know he's frustrated by it, but he's not yelling at him like, "Come on, guys!" Like he'll just kind of like.
I've seen that kid.
You know, but he doesn't get mad at that. And it's funny now. Me, I get nervous as heck, and I know it's karma because I was a goalie, and now it's kind of like, I'm sure my mother up in heaven is looking down saying, "Yep, you thought, here's a taste of your own medicine, dude."
I get nervous with the comebackers. Mm-hmm. As a kid who having a pitcher kid.
Yeah.
I get nervous about. Now, luckily, we haven't seen one yet, but the day is going to come.
And how close? Because at least my oldest he's 60 feet away.
Right now, it's 40.
Yeah.
At 12U, it goes to 45, and then no, I'm wrong. It's 35 feet, then it goes to 40, and then 14U they get to 43, and that's the final one. But so at 35 feet.
Now, is that where the rubber is?
So
where they start
from the back. So from the tip of home plate to the middle of the pitching rubber is 35 feet.
Okay.
So actually, I mean, from the front of home plate,
so when she's
they're
releasing
closer.
it, she's a lot closer.
Oh yeah, because she's striding forward.
Yeah.
And then if they're hitting it, they're generally hitting it in front of home plate
Yeah.
if they hit it properly. So you're talking about maybe 25 feet.
Yeah.
Now luckily she's got a face mask on,
Yeah.
so like it won't break her skull open. Hopefully,
Right.
Because I'm not really sure how safe that face mask is. I mean, it's metal, so maybe.
Well, here's the thing, though, and not to make you even more nervous, but the ball's coming at her face. The natural human reaction is to turn your head.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's probably better just to let that thing go right off your cage than try to dodge it.
Well, it was interesting. So I think I told you about this. We had one girl who could really hit the ball, and her dad was the coach assist pitcher. So when there were 4 balls or a kid gets hit, the coach assist comes in for fall ball. They don't really do this in the spring. He came in, he pitched the ball. She hit a rocket back at his face, like at his face. He got his bare hand up, and it hit his bare hand. Mm-hmm. Like the one side of his hand was like purple.
Right.
I'm like, imagine if that was a kid. No way they would have had the reaction.
And they're swinging U-Trip bats, right?
She had like the axe bat or something like that.
But is it U-Triple-SA or is it are they dead bats or?
No, I didn't check.
Yeah.
I don't think hers was a dead bat.
Yeah, because like, thankfully the oldest now they're swinging BB cores, so they're not as hot. But at 13U, they were swinging these bats that had a ton of pop to them. So I know the softball bats have they have U-Trip bats. So.
Most of them, yeah, and they're not super hot. But if you get a girl who's just swinging, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, especially if the girl's. Luckily for my daughter, like with as fast as she's pitching, if she puts one in there, no one's really getting on it.
Yeah.
But if she played against a player that could, it would come back at her pretty hot. Like when they get older and they're pitching pretty fast, the
Yeah.
ball's going to come back at you faster. But when they get older, it's 43 feet.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more room there.
Yeah, but even then, they're still striding forward, and
And some of them are like leaping forward.
like there's a star.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know how this legal, but whatever. Far off topic, but and don't get me wrong, like I feel like there's a case to be made to play another level. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like so I'm not and that's why like I want to make the distinction between the things that your boys are doing, playing for a community-based travel team
Yeah,
versus playing for a for-profit travel team on the promises of X, Y, and Z.
yeah,
Right?
And some of those, and what happens with some of those for-profit, pay-to-play clubs, is like, yeah, sure, their top-tier club for that age group is legit, and maybe the second one is.
The third one.
But then they get another 12 kids whose $5,000 checks clear, and now they've got a third team. And they're like, oh, wait, we've got 12 4-year-olds? They all have $5,000 checks? Now they're playing. And it's like, okay, well, and then but what happens is it's to the detriment of local rec programs. So my oldest stayed in rec through 12U. And he got to the point where he just got bored because he was at rec. He was one of, if not the best player on the field most of the time. So then he got, but what really kind of motivated him is he didn't make a team. All his buddies weren't on the same team. I said, hey, dude, if you want to play with the same kids every year, put the work in and make a travel team. So he did. And he did. So, okay. That worked out, but it was all him. I was happy with rec, but the problem is sometimes there aren't enough good players to keep it competitive for those better players. So they just go play travel because they get bored just 3 up, 3 down pitching every time. Yeah. Hitting balls that, grounders that should probably be fielded by short that beat them because the kid isn't any good and they're getting on base.
And you worry about those people getting preyed on by some of these organizations. So my favorite organization apparently is starting another team.
Oh, okay.
But this was a team that started off as basically, hey, look, for $495, we're gonna boost it up a little bit. We're gonna boost it up from rec league a little bit. They're paying over $1,000 now.
For spring and fall?
No,
Or just one?
just one.
Oh,
And you got to get all the uniforms. Now there's 3 or 4 uniforms.
Yeah.
And the bag and the shirts and all. So now it's basically now charging at what Travel Ball charges. But they're not elevating these kids' games
yeah.
because they can't coach. It's a money grab now. Mm-hmm. Like they got drunk on their own on the money.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. And it was like when I found out how much they were charging now, knowing like what they play in, who they play against, where it's outrageous. Mm-hmm. It's like they're paying just to have the swag and call themselves a travel team.
Yeah.
When probably 80% of them should still be playing rec. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a money grab.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Because these people bought the sales pitch. And in their mind, they think that this is the best thing for their children. Mm-hmm. And at $460, I feel like it's reasonable to buy into that. But at like $1,000, $1,500,
Yeah.
whatever it is now, you're paying for swag at this point, for clothes.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. Like, and I think that a lot of these club program, whatever you want to call them, especially when they get down to like C teams, like that C team you're talking about, they're still going to charge $5,000.
Sure.
But they're going to play local tournaments.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're taking part of that because it doesn't cost $5,000 for uniforms and to play some local tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got a 14, 15 girl roster or guy roster.
No,
They're subsidizing the other two teams.
Yeah, a travel team, a travel tournament that we've always done, like $800.
Right. I mean, if you go to USSSA,
Yeah.
$695.
Yeah.
$595.
Yep. And the thing is with these, and we go and do some stay away tournaments, and a lot of times get our freaking asses kicked. But it was fun for the kids to go away and spend the night in the hotel and all that stuff, because that's where the memories come from. The memories aren't coming necessarily from. Like, I remember when I played, like, I couldn't tell you the single who won a tournament or what the scores were, whose stats were what, but I can tell you stories about playing knee hockey and swimming in the pool and stuff. Like, that's the fun stuff they're going to remember.
Right.
And it's also fun for the families and for the little brothers and sisters to tag along. Like, that's all fun stuff. So,
It's
but
fun.
yeah, when you're
it's fun
subs-
until someone gets cut out.
right, but when you're
Then that person loses their group. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the thing about having that much time invested with a group of people,
oh yeah,
and then all of a sudden they go get Johnny Pereira and replace it, and yours is the kid that gets replaced.
yeah, oh yeah.
You put all this money, you grew that club,
See ya. No, your service is no longer needed.
right?
So that happens too. And then there's also people that go and get mad because their kid doesn't play shortstop, so they start their own team. But there's all kinds of messes and nonsense that goes with it. But
So it's interesting. I didn't know that piece of information about private equity being involved in youth sports. I didn't know that youth sports had more revenue than the MLB and
Yeah.
and NFL. To be honest with you, that's wild. But I guess where there's money, private equity is going to find a way in to make money off of it.
Sure.
So
and my thing is, if they can find a way to make it better, but I don't see it. You know, I don't see anything being made better by
no. Be like having the Game Changer app, right? If you're going to vertically integrate, at least make the Game Changer app amazing.
yeah,
And it's not. It's okay. TeamSnap is awful.
yeah,
That app sucks. Mm-hmm. And then on top of it, you gotta. And it's not like these Game Changer isn't free. If
No.
you want all the options,
no,
it's $500 for a team license
yeah,
for I think one season. I mean, you're paying software price. I mean, but again, now I know it's going to KKR. Mm-hmm. That's why it costs so much.
yeah,
It's wild, man. They're gonna. I don't want to be hyperbolic. They're gonna ruin youth sports. Some people would say they already did.
yeah,
It's already a fucked up scenario, and parents who don't know any better bought it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to put it on parents though. I mean, I do because they think they're getting something that they're not. But some of them probably are getting something. I think for that top A team that wants to go play other A teams is probably getting more out of it than the B team.
Sure.
And definitely more than the C team.
oh yeah,
And then some you've got like an A and an A1.
Yep.
But they call it B, right? The teams might be equal. But they like the organization because the organization it's providing a value, right?
yeah,
And I understand that too. But there are so many of these organizations that are just feeding a line of shit, and they're not delivering on it.
right.
So, and that's what you said. Like if KKR is going to be in it and make it better, but they're not. They're in
but
it
we
to
know
make money.
that's not the reason they're in it.
No, that'd be like asking Pfizer to be in the drug industry to make people healthy. That's not happening.
Right.
This is not brought to you by Pfizer, by the way. Opinions are our own. Everything is allegedly, by the way. Save ourselves from any backlash. But want to thank Adam Chubbuck, TACMD, TACMD.com, TACMD.com, Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. Want to thank Adam again for sponsoring the show, as he has the last 2-ish years or so.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There's
Our
something.
longest running sponsor.
He is the. Yeah, that's true. We've had like 4. along the way.
We should call this the TAC MD
Studio.
podcast studio.
I can stencil it up on the wall there, and then I'll do it in marker,
Yeah.
washable marker, just in case. All right, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.